Hey everybody, it's Dave Fingers here with my good friend Kyle Grivette. He is the CEO and president of 3ACLEAN. How you doing today, Kyle?
Great, Dave. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. Made it through the weekend. Looks like there's a beautiful week ahead of us. So we were talking a little bit before we got started, but obviously in your type of business, you hire a lot of people and you talk to a lot of people, and not just talking about your business specifically, but any company that hires people. There's some additional costs that maybe a lot of people aren't always aware of that go on top of just the pay rate they pay somebody, right?
Yes, there is. So if the pay, let's just take Denver's minimum wage, for example, which there's another topic there we don't need to get into right
Right.
now. But so Denver is $15.80 an hour. And then on top of that, and I know that you're quicker at running off all of the labor burden that goes in there, but Social Security, FUTA, SUTA, unemployment insurance, and for us, I have to include general liability because there's a percentage for labor on that, and then workers' comp
Yep.
and whatever other things go there. But that number is right around 17% for us. So right
Of
out
the
of the
hourly wage, and that's of the hourly wage, right?
That's
Per
of the
hour.
hourly wage.
Right.
So a $15.87 an hour person with the labor burden on it, that turns out to be $18.57. So it adds almost $3.
Right. Well, and then if a company, let's just use a rounder number, let's say $20 an hour. If a company's going to pay somebody $20 an hour, not only do you have that 17%, but if they offer benefits as well, then you have paid time off that gets included in that cost,
Right.
holidays. Uh, you also have health and dental benefits and any other benefits that the company might offer, which then can take that 17% anywhere from 25 to 30% of that hourly rate. So you could be up to $29 and what, 50 cents for a $20 an hour person. That's the cost. That's the hard cost to the employer,
Right.
right? Not complaining because people do a great job. They deserve to be taken care of when they do those great jobs. But if you're an employer or you're looking to start a company and hire people, these are some of the things that maybe you don't think of when you're thinking, oh, just hire somebody at $20 an hour. There's additional cost onto that. And then couple that with inflation as the cost of goods and services go up around the country. Guess what else has to go up? Guess what else starts going up?
Everything. It's a vicious cycle out there.
It is a vicious cycle. So just kind of bringing it back around, there are always those additional costs that are involved that come right back to the bottom line of the company or hit the bottom line of the company that's doing the employing. So as cost of goods and services go up, then you have to give people raises to retain them. Then cost of services go up again, right? Because you still have to maintain that profitability. So then, because what are some? I mean, think about some of the other costs that businesses have in addition to just employment costs, right? They've got the overhead of the facility. Maybe they have an office.
So let me just jump in here real quick, Dave. So yeah, I have a 3,000 square foot building here that's 100% in use. And we have rolling stock, got cars, trucks, vans that people use. And we try to get most of the people that work for us just to go to the job site in their own vehicle. So that, number one, it saves us the liability of letting people drive too many vehicles. But anyway, we've got that. I've got administrative help that makes sure that we're putting out the bills, making sure that the chemicals are being distributed properly, whatever else it is. And we've got supervisors and we've got, like you said, the benefits bill. We pay 100% of the bronze plan that's available to everybody that works as an employee for AAA building maintenance, 3ACLEAN. And most of them like the bronze plan. And I've got a couple that will pay out of their own pocket to get to the silver plan, or we've got people that are actually buy the rest of the plan like I have. And I have a bunch of health issues, so I don't have a choice. I have to have and it's a high deductible plan for me, but and I'm in a little bit of a different situation than most of the people that are working on sites,
Mhm.
but some of them have issues too. And we try to help those that have real issues out, you
Right.
know. There's always special circumstances out there that must be met. And for the employer that's not interested in people's special circumstances, good luck keeping people.
Right. And that's why regardless of what types of products or services that somebody's purchasing, you have to look at the price isn't always because the company just wants to make more money. Sometimes it's just what they have to, the costs that they have to incur to make sure that they continue to provide that great service and those great products to the public, right?
Right, exactly. So let's take that 1587 minimum wage in Denver County. And people say, well, that's just for Denver County. It's like, not really. Talk to anybody that's in our industry that knows what it is over in Denver. I'm in Lakewood. Denver's only 8 blocks away. People that are working anywhere outside of Denver, but close into the metro area, if they have experience, they don't want to be paid minimum wage. And the reason they don't is because people that have never done this work come in to do the work right next to them in the same facilities even. They're making the same amount of money at that point. Well, people with experience that know how to do any job aren't working for the same amount of money that the new entry is. It doesn't work that way anywhere.
Right.
So the 1587 an hour person that's out there, if we're not billing out at least $30 an hour for that, and at $30 an hour at 1587, our gross margin is a little over 25%. Gross margin, not net margin.
Right.
So
that's
then
before cost of goods sold, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
So and at the end, our industry has always been a low net industry, so like if we're at 8%, we're at the top of the mark almost. Now we know a couple of companies that are out there that are in the 12. We have a friend that's in the industry out east, and it's a pretty big company. He's doing about $16 million a year with a nice 22% net. I would love to be that guy. I'm not.
Right.
So anyway, and it's sticker shock for so many people when they find out that if you are hiring one person, one full-time employee from me, that number, and we'll work with some companies depending on their pay to, their payment schedule to us. If you can pay me quicker, I can help you a little bit.
Yeah.
But you think about it, a minimum wage person doing your janitorial for 8 hours a day, and you're paying them $5,200 a month. That's sticker shock.
Yeah.
Now, if we got 4 people, 5 people, I can start lowering those costs, so that it's much less. But still, if you're paying, say, $4,800 a month, but you got 4 people on your site, that's a pretty good number.
Right.
That's a ponderable, now people are thinking about, how can I cut that number? And well, there's only one way to cut it. Cut the amount of service, count the amount of times that you do certain things, instead of doing, dumping the trash fully every day of the week, maybe you just have a collection point so that the people can go dump their own trash into the collection point. And all I have to do is have my people hit that collection point. Instead of dumping 300 trash cans, maybe they dump 30 50-gallon barrels, much easier, especially when they route themselves, instead of dusting every other week or once a week, you're dusting once a month. And that has to be talked with to the client, that your expectation for no visible dust and dirt, however you want to look at it, has to be some visible soil will be there.
Yeah.
We live in Colorado, and if you are only dusting your stuff, even in your house, once a month, you're looking at dust, which is dirt. So
Which I think brings us to a good point, and that is, regardless of what, if you're getting quotes on any type of, whether it's commercial cleaning or any other type of service, make sure you understand what you're getting a quote on, and
yeah,
make sure you're comparing apples to apples. And if it seems too good to be true, it might be, right?
right.
When you think about the costs that we talked about, that whether it's commercial cleaning or any other service where employees and labor is involved and resources like that. So there are hard costs associated with that above and beyond the pay rate. So
Yep.
something to keep in mind, word of the wise, apples to apples. And if it's too good to be true, it might be.
It might be. Call me anyway. I'm here to help.
There you go. Appreciate it, Kyle. You have a great week, man.
You too, Dave. Thank you.
Yep.